Fuels, energy and the environment. So in this video we are going to discuss about the fuels, its calorific value, its characteristics and what are the effects of the burning fuels in our environment. So let us proceed to the calorific value. So what is calorific value? Calorific value means the amount of the heat required, amount of energy produced when by the complete combustion of 1 kg of fuels in air, that is called the calorific value. So the calorific value of a combustible substance is the heat generated when 1 kg of that substance is completely burned, and it is also known as the heat of combustion or heat value for the fuel, and its unit is kilojoule per gram. So that is the calorific value. Now come to the page number 84, the last line, paragraph. Calorific value of a fuels. So different fuels produce different amount of energy. The amount of energy produced by the complete combustion of 1 kg of fuel in air is called its calorific value. And the calorific value of unit is expressed in kilojoule per gram. So calorific value of a fuel is expressed in kilojoule per gram. Now come to the next page, page number 85. It is written, higher the calorific value of a fuel, better is its efficiency. The table given below gives the calorific value of some fuels. So here the calorific is given: cow dung 6 to 8, wood 17 to 22, coal 25 to 33, petrol 47, kerosene 48, diesel 45, methane 55, CNG 50, LPG 41, and biogas 31 to 40, and the hydrogen 150. So hydrogen has the highest calorific value and may be considered as the best fuel, but it is highly inflammable and there are difficulties to store as well as to transport it. So that's why it is used only in rocket fuels. So underline this line: the hydrocalorific value may be considered as the best fuel, but it is highly inflammable and there are difficulties to transport and store it, and it is also used limited in the form of the rocket fuels because it is highly inflammable and it is very difficult to transport or store it. Next, methane and LPG have high calorific value also, and they burn without producing the smoke. So thus they do not cause the pollution, especially the air pollution, and they are used as domestic fuels. LPG can also be used in automobiles as fuels. So methane and LPG have high calorific value and burns without smoke. Petrol and diesel are also used as automobile fuels, and they release harmful gases upon burning, and their availability is also limited in nature. So that's why petrol and diesel should be used in a limited manner, only for the automobiles, because they release harmful gases. Now come to the characteristics of a good fuel. What should be the qualities? So what are the qualities for a good fuel? A good fuel should be cheap and easily available. Could be cheap and easily available, number one. Calorific value, number two. Number three, it should not produce any harmful gases on burning and should not leave behind any undesired substances. Number four, it should be safe to handle and transport. Number five, it should burn at a moderate temperature. Number six, it should have low ignition temperature, but it should not be considered. It should be considerably higher than the room temperature. So that should be noted, that if the fuel have the low ignition temperature, but it should be higher than room temperature, that is above 33 or 34 degrees Celsius. So otherwise, for example, what about the phosphorus? When you will keep the phosphorus in a room, it catches fire on its own because it has a very low ignition temperature. Same conditions with the sodium also. And last, the seventh point, it should not be explosive in nature. So good fuel should be cheap, easily available, high calorific value, not produce harmful gases, safe to handle and transport. That should have the moderate temperature, should burns at moderate temperature, should have low ignition temperature but should not be highly inflammable. That means it should have the higher temperature than the room temperature, and it should not be explosive in nature. Now, when we burn, sometimes they produce the pollutants. What are the pollutants? Number one, unburned carbon particles, that is called soot. So fuels such as wood, coal and petroleum releases unburned carbon particle into the environment on burning, which is called as soot. So these fine particles causes the diseases like asthma and bronchitis. That means they causes damage to the lungs. Next is incomplete combustion of carbon. So when carbon does not burn properly, then which gas is released? Carbon monoxide, which is very poisonous gas. So burning fuels like petrol, kerosene produce poisonous gas. And if a person is exposed to carbon monoxide for a long time, then it may prove fatal and the person may die. She may die. Why? Because carbon monoxide is a poisonous gas, and when it mixes with blood, it forms it forms the carboxy hemoglobin. Carboxy hemoglobin. That means it does not allow the oxygen to transport to the different parts of the body. So that's why the person may die, or even somehow he or she will have some serious injuries also. So next is the burning of coal and diesel produces the gases like sulfur dioxide SO2, and the process releases the gases like nitrogen dioxide NO, oxide NO2 as NO also. These oxides dissolve in rainwater and they form the acid like sulfuric acid and nitric acid, which falls in the form of acid rain. So acid rain harms statues, buildings, soil and plants. So sometimes when the coal and diesel burns, they produces a gas like sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide or nitrogen oxide, and when they mix with it and acid, which falls in the form of acid rain. And acid rain then harms the statues, buildings, soil, plants, etc. Even the aquatic animals also. And last, most fuel on combustion release carbon dioxide, which is a greenhouse gas. So carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas. It has the ability to trap heat. So such fuels increase in the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So as a result, average temperature of the earth increases. So this increase of the temperature of the earth's surface is called as the global warming. Since carbon dioxide is produced so much and we are cutting the trees, so due to the deforestation, the carbon dioxide goes up and it increases the earth temperature, which causes the global warming. So it results in the melting of glaciers, and these glaciers when melt, they subsequently leads to rise in the sea level, and that causes the flood in coastal areas. So that's why the fuels when burned, that they release the various pollutants, and also they pollutes the soil, then the plants, and also the water, the sea. So these are the effects of the pollutant or the particles that are released by burning the fuels. So chapter is completed. Come to the checkpoint. Carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas, true. Acid rain is not harmful, but for monuments made of marble, false. Acid rain is gaseous fuel. Acid rain is liquid fuel. Sorry, alcohol is a gaseous fuel. It is false. Inner part of flame is its hottest region. False. Inner part is not the hottest but the least hottest. A good fill should have high calorific value. True. So acid rain is not harmful for monuments made of marbles. No, it is very harmful. For example, Taj Mahal. Due to the acid rain, Taj Mahal is losing what its color. So that's why acid rain is very harmful for the monuments. So that's all.